Welcome back to the garage. Over the last few weeks, I've been busy on my property doing some cleanup, trying to get the projects organized. That way it's easier to work on stuff that's sitting outside, not to mention the fact that I won't have to move 15 different vehicles and various pieces of equipment to get one old truck into the garage to work on it. I'm just trying to stay ahead of the hot Missouri summer that's just around the corner. But anyways, I appreciate everybody's understanding. But since I can't film on the usual projects, how about a cleanup video on this Ford F-350 that my parents bought from an auction? Now let me just tell you, right off the bat, this truck is absolutely filthy, both inside and out, because the previous owners were hoarders. So the interior is dirty, not to mention the fact that the truck sat under a tree for quite a few years. So if you like power wash / cleanup videos, stick around because I believe that you will really like the transformation on this old Ford truck. So without further delay, let's go take a walk around this truck and then we'll get to cleaning. There's no music over the power washing. I know some people don't like that, so I'm just trying to make everybody happy. But anyways, let's get to it. But before I forget, my name is Zane and this is HPDG. But you can see this old truck was owned by the Missouri Conservation. That's why it's got the green paint job. But it's been sitting under a tree for quite a few years. And you can see that it's got lichen and moss growing all over it. The body is pretty nice on this old truck, aside from the passenger side bedside, which we'll go over here in just a moment. It's two-wheel drive and it has this big winch bumper on the front. The only thing that I can really think is maybe this was a truck that moved around office personnel and didn't really go out into the woods and risk getting stuck or hung up. This has a Ramsey winch on it, 8,000 pound capacity. Might be able to see the tag. The actual electric motor for it looks like it's seen better days, so that will probably need replaced. But the grille isn't broken. The hood has a little bit of damage here. I think a hood could probably be sourced and then somewhat color matched to match the green of the truck, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. The driver's side on the truck is pretty much immaculate. The cab, for the most part, has zero rust. Even laid underneath of it, and there's no spots in the floor or any spots on the rocker panels whatsoever where there's rust. You can see the bedside back here has a little bit over the wheel well. Right here, there's actually a rock sticking through there. There's a few cracks, which I can see some filler, so I would imagine, even though it doesn't look as bad, this bed will probably need the actual steel panel in here replaced with the aftermarket one that you can get. I think the aftermarket unit usually goes up to the body line, and I think they're about 30 bucks, so they're not too expensive. Truck has dual fuel tanks. I think I forgot to mention it's a 1994. It's got a 351 in it with an automatic transmission. The inside of the bed here has a lot of garbage that needs scooped out of here. One thing I can say for certain, this wasn't in here. My parents actually want that on the truck. So one thing that saved it was this mat in here. So the rubber mat, I think, kept all this from rusting the bed completely out. Tailgate's just a little bit rough. Now this is a two-wheel drive, like I mentioned earlier. It is an F-350, so it's a 1-ton with a single wheel rear end. Little spot of damage here at the bed, but that can be worked out. We'll go back around to the passenger side and I'll show you this bed side's a little bit rough. You can see there's filler that's cracked right here towards the back of the bedside, but I think that could still be worked out from the back side. This is the worst spot. It probably looks a lot worse on video than it does in person. I think this can still be worked out from the back side of the bed. There's no spot of rust in here except for surface rust. But other than this bedside, the truck itself is in really nice shape. None of the doors have dents or any rust. Let me pop the hood and I'll show you the engine. There's a little bit of rodent infestation up there. But like I mentioned, this is actually a 5.8 or a 351 Windsor. You might be able to see that on the tag, maybe not. That's how nasty the roof of the truck is. Didn't realize there's a slight dent in there. But if I remove the headliner, should be able to pop that back out, or just honestly live with it, one of the two. Now it's time to show you the interior, at least the front seat, which isn't as bad. But you can see the door panel's in really nice shape. The seat is as well. The piping on the seat is broken right there, but there's no actual rips in it. But you can see how nasty the floorboard is in here. It's not half as bad as the back. No battery in it, so I can't tell you how many miles are on it. The overdrive shifter is broken off up here on the column, but that's a common problem with these Fords. The dash is dirty, but I don't see any splits in it. The headliner, remarkably, is in pretty decent shape too. I think this front side of the truck will clean up and look pretty good. We'll just see about the back, but it's time to show you that. All right, driver's side rear door. You all got to be really lucky that you cannot smell this through your TV or your phone, however you're watching this, because it smells pretty disgusting. See an old VHS tape down in there, just random trash, a pair of blue jean pants. You can definitely tell, I guess, some mice were in here. But the seat itself, other than having something heavy sit on it and pretty much put a good dimple in there, looks like it's in nice shape. Again, the door panel itself is in good condition as well. Got some winged friends that built a home up here. Just an assortment of garbage in here. Passenger side rear door. Just all kinds of trash. See a wire brush, some brake fluid, tiny little ice scraper. Now most people would just go through here and throw all of this stuff into a trash can, not really sort through it. But there has been something pretty neat that's been found in here. My dad stopped by the other day to try to clean this up, and he actually found something really neat that's in the garage I'll show you in just a moment, that proves that you should always look through this stuff, because you'll never know what you might find. My dad wants to be the one that's responsible for cleaning the interior of the truck, and he found this sitting in the floorboard in the back seat, or in the back of the truck. Looks like some AstroTurf, but when you open it up, this is actually a brand new caged airplane altimeter, which is pretty interesting. I looked around on eBay. Some of these sell for just a few $100s, but it's still neat to see. So again, you can see how dirty this old truck is. I say old, which is kind of sad to me. Whenever I was a kid, this truck wasn't very old, but now you can put historic plates on it here in Missouri. You might be wondering what I'm going to use to clean it with. Well, my friends over at Super Clean have believed in my channel since I've had about 3,000 subscribers. They also help out quite a few other channels with less subscribers than that. They have some fantastic products. They send me stuff all the time that I can just use in my shop without even having to do a video on it, and that really means a lot, because whenever you buy stuff like this and need some product to work on it with, and they send you something for free, that really helps out whenever your wallet's a little bit skinny. So we'll get the power washer out, pour some Super Clean in it, and get this old truck cleaned up really nice. So that pretty much does it. The truck's been power washed. Now it's time to take a walk around and see what it looks like now that it's been cleaned up. I just wanted to mention that the audio was muted because of the sound of the power washer, so things will go back almost to full volume, so just a heads up if you're watching this with earphones. It's been a few days since I power washed this truck, and in my opinion, it looks night and day better. The paint cleaned up pretty nicely. It's kind of crazy to me how all of the sap on the hood hid all of this damage, but you can see the hood's actually smashed pretty bad. There's also a crease right there. This fender's in really nice shape. There's one small ding above this badge. Nothing too major. The door's cleaned up extraordinarily nice. There's no damage to the passenger side doors at all. There's a little bit of paint scrapage back here, but no dent or anything that you can feel with your hand. Let me show you the inside. There's been nothing filmed on the inside. My dad came over the other day and we worked together to get this interior cleaned up roughly. The seats and dash still need sprayed down. I'm probably going to pull the seats out and power wash the floor mat completely. There's the front. Like I mentioned, the floor is still pretty nasty. Luckily it's got a rubber mat in here, or vinyl mat. Quite the transformation on the back of the truck. There's the two pieces of trim from the front seat. Floorboard's cleaned up pretty nice. Like I mentioned before, it's kind of a shame on that seat because there was something heavy that sat on there for quite a few years, and I guess it ruined the foam, but the seat's not ripped at all. Still need to clean up the nasty floor mat again, like I mentioned. Luckily this one's in two-piece. You can see that. The front section and the back section are two totally different chunks of vinyl. Door panel needs cleaned up. Let me show you the driver's side. I also sprayed the bumper in the front. Looks pretty good. The driver's side of the truck is probably its best feature because there's hardly any damage over here. The fender is in really good shape. So were the doors. There's one small dent right here, and I don't know if the camera can pick that up or not. This spot again, I think can be worked out with a hammer and dolly. There's a little bit of rust over the wheel again, but it didn't flake off whenever I power washed it, so it must not be as bad as I was originally thinking. The inside of the bed as well has been cleaned out. I haven't power washed it, but we took this mat up to the city dumpster, cleaned it out. I think the bed will clean up nicely as well with some super clean. The tailgate, there's something wrong with the latches. I think they just need adjusted. It does have a few small dents in it, but for pulling a John boat and maybe hauling around some auction items, I think this truck cleaned up really nicely and it will do what my parents intended to do. Now again, the passenger side of the bed is pretty rough. If I film on cleaning the seats and the floor and getting the interior nice, I think that I'll also throw in some footage of trying to pop both of these big dents out. These big whiskey dents. Anyways, speaking of whiskey dents, there's a very nice gentleman on this platform whose name is Chris, and he has a channel called Whiskey Dents. He's got some really neat projects on his channel. He's got a Ford F-600 that he turned into a big pickup truck. At the moment, he's got a GMC cab over that he's doing some work to. And one of the neatest vehicles that he has is a slick side crew cab truck that he's building himself. He took two cabs and made a crew cab out of it. He's got the body sitting on a Crown Vic frame with air ride. I think it's going to be a really neat project once he gets it finished. So if you like videos where people work on stuff for themselves, go ahead and check his channel out. I'll leave it linked in the video description below. If you like what you see, which I think you will, go ahead and subscribe and just tell him that Zane sent you. There's also a brother of his who has a YouTube channel for himself called Classic Car Revivals. He does quite a few videos like Will It Start and work on projects of his own. They both seem like great guys, so check them out if you don't mind, and just tell them that Zane sent you. But anyways, we'll get back to the video here. Probably the biggest transformation on this truck is the roof. You can see how nice and clean it is now. I went over it with strictly water at first, and then I sprayed the super clean and got all of the nastiness off of there. You might be able to see that the passenger side over here is actually creased a little bit. I don't know if a limb fell on it in the past, but I can just simply take the headliner out of the truck, push up on that, and it should pop back out. There is also a rubber plug right there that probably seals off where an antenna used to be. But this truck, pretty much in my opinion, turned out to be a night and day difference. I've done a few power wash videos in the past, and they seem like they've been fairly well received, but normally they have music over them. So this time I just decided to do it a little bit differently. So let me know in the comment section if you like it this way better or with the music. I also can't thank Super Clean enough for sending me all of the product to use on this truck and all the other projects that I've got. It helps me out tremendously, and I can't thank them enough for everything that they do for my small channel. Now, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment or a question down below, consider subscribing if this is the kind of video that you're into, and always remember that it doesn't matter if you're working on your project in a garage or in your driveway. What matters is that you go out there, you do the job yourself, and you learn more about your project, whatever that project may be. Now that this video's over, how about you go outside and work on something? My name is Zane, and I'll catch you next time.